Hello everybody and welcome back to another trip report. Today I'm here at Brisbane International Airport in Queensland, and today we're going to be flying with Qantas or QantasLink aboard one of these Q400 turboprops from here in Brisbane over up to Rockhampton in central Queensland. So yeah, anyways, I have already arrived off a flight from Adelaide, so I'm already checked in and my boarding passes I have and stuff. So let's go into the Qantas lounge and see what's in there. After checking into the Queensland Gov app, we're now here inside the Qantas Club in Brisbane. It looks quite nice in here. I've never been to this lounge before, in fact it's my first time to Brisbane. It looks like there's a nice selection of juice and everything actually appears to be a buffet, which is something that I didn't think I'd see, because I haven't seen it anywhere else in Australia at the moment due to COVID. Nice selection of refreshments. But yeah, it looks like there's a fair few seats with power outlets as well, which is always handy. Please excuse that vacuum cleaner in the background. Now here I have a couple of nice little bread rolls. The selection of food is actually pretty poor. Just a couple soups, couple salads, just some veggies to dip in hummus, but other than that there really isn't anything much. But I just got a nice bread roll and butter because that's always nice. Pretty quiet here now too. Now exiting the lounge, and then I'm going to come back in once I've got some rolls to eat for dinner, since it's not too much for dinner here. The food court here at Brisbane Airport is actually quite impressive. Very early, they've actually just called boarding for our flight, which has been around 10 minutes early.
For the boarding call for Rockhampton, QantasLink 2370.
There it is.
Please proceed gate 2 for boarding.
Yeah, interesting because our flight's actually still meant to leave in 35 minutes, which if you ask me is quite a lot considering they're asking us to board now. But firstly, I actually need to find gate 2, which actually might be this way. Unfortunately, there aren't many signs around here to find out exactly where gate 2 is. I feel like I saw a sign earlier though, saying that gate 2 could potentially be down here, but I'm not 100% sure. Just confirmed with one of the friendly captains, the gate 2 is actually down here, which is great news. It's a bus gate. Thank you very much. Okay. Here's the bus. It's very nice and humid out here. Also, because it's a bus gate, I'm actually not 100% sure what plane will be taking us to Rockhampton today. All I know is it's going to be a Q400. My plane for today is VH-LQL, a 2013 built and delivered Dash-8 Q400, delivered brand new to Qantas. This aircraft is also in the Silveroo livery.
How are you?
Hi.
Thank you. You're 7 on the left-hand side, Hugo. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sorry about that. The ground crew were very unhappy about me recording, They wouldn't even let me have my camera open. My seat for today, anyways, is 7D on the left-hand side of the aircraft, with a nice view of the propeller this evening. We are now on board today's aircraft. Also, I think it's going to be about 90% full today's flight, but I think only half passengers are on board. Anyways, now that I have my seatbelt fastened, let's go through the seat features of this Dash-8 Q400 aircraft. Or maybe in just a minute. Now that announcement has finished, let's go through the seat features. So the legroom here is really nice. It's probably about 32 to 34 inches or 81 to 84 centimetres. I'm not too sure exactly, keeping in mind I'm around 150 centimetres. Then just here you have the safety instructions card and the Qantas magazine. There don't appear to be any sick bags actually, which I would expect on a little plane like this because it can get quite bumpy. Anyways, there's a tablet holder here. However, there is no entertainment, no Wi-Fi or anything on here. Not that I'd expect that. Here we have the tray table, which you can pull down and is actually really dirty, which is, you know, a little bit disappointing considering COVID times. I'll have to wipe that up a little bit in a minute. And then there is no seat picture at all. And the headrests, look, they're fine, but they're nothing special. And the seat, once again, is firm, but nothing too bad. And there's individual air vents up here, which is necessary, because Rockhampton is normally around 35 degrees in summer. But yeah, that's about it for the seat features. Also, the windows are quite dirty, so please excuse that. Not really much about that. Now, very quickly, I'm not sure if all the other passengers missed it, or if the seats were actually just blocked when I looked.
Please take a moment to read. You should be familiar with the emergency brace position. If in doubt, please check your safety
And
information card.
the crew are now
This
doing the
aircraft
safety
has
demonstration.
4 emergency exits, 2 at the front of the cabin and 2 at the rear of the aircraft. Please identify the exit nearest to you and an alternative.
Engines are now properly started up. And should be departing.
For continued comfort in the cabin, I will be dimming the main cabin lights. Those of you wishing to read, you do have
It's also pretty cool. I've never actually flown in a prop like this at night. Well, not night, but it's evening, and it'll probably get quite dark by the time we landed in about an hour in Rockhampton. It's been a very quick safety demonstration startup. Now let's taxi to the runway. It's actually, I think we have the longest taxi possible to the runway here in Brisbane. Anyways, should be taking off shortly. Now I've been waiting next to the runway for 2 minutes or so. I checked the flight radar briefly. Now airplane mode's on, but there wasn't anything on the radar, so I'm not 100% sure as to why we're waiting. There's nothing on the runway, and they're not using this runway to land. As you can see there, it turns out actually we were waiting somehow a long time for this plane to land. I have a feeling we could have taken off before it landed, but anyways. Also, it's odd how it landed on this runway because all other planes seem to be landing on the other runway. It's a tiny one too. We are now just about to take off, and because we're about to take off, you should kind of see out there that the strobe lights are on, which is pretty cool because you don't normally get to see them up so close. Once again, I apologise for the reflection. I can't do much at all about that.
on the ground, probably ahead of schedule at 8:15 this evening. Aviation jet taking care of your safety and comfort. So yeah, we drive off with hospitality and make yourselves comfortable.
Now here, still on the way to cruising altitude, and the cabin crew just came around to give us a food and drink service. Today, I think there might be more options later, but I got a little bottle of water, which is nice, and then also some carrot and celery sticks. Now I don't love celery, but carrot's fine, and some hummus to go with that, as well as some corn chips. For a flight like this, that's a pretty good snack, I reckon. Also, it's been a smooth departure, just quite loud. Sorry about that, you couldn't see anything out there, partially because of this light, but also because there's nothing, it's dark out there now. Anyways, there was actually more drink service. I got a nice cup of tea, there was tea and coffee, and some alcoholic beverages. For a flight of this length, I think this is really good. Also, the cabin crew is really friendly. Just very quickly moved over here. Have a look at this beautiful view out the 7A of the red and orange sunset. That's a pretty amazing view, one of the spectacular things about flying at night. Now that I've had a look at this spectacular view, I should probably return to my original seat.
The terminal, and the captain has switched off the seatbelt sign. It is time once again to please ensure that your tray tables are secure. All unstowed hand luggage must now be placed firmly underneath the seat.
As I'm sure you can see, there's practically nothing outside. It's quite dim in the cabin too, but it's pretty much impossible for you to tell. We have commenced our descent into Rockhampton Regional Airport in central Queensland. Should be arriving a good 15-20 minutes or so early. So unfortunately you can't see anything, but it is cool lighting at night at the same time. Anyways, yeah, the cabin crew, we actually started descending about 5 to 10 minutes ago. The cabin crew came around to collect some rubbish and is now seated. But it's been a really smooth flight actually, and out that window you can vaguely see some lights of Rockhampton. It's hard to see, but we are just about to land.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Rockhampton. QantasLink would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land. The seatbelt sign is still on. Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened. It is not permissible to retrieve any items of checked-in luggage from the rear of the aircraft. Those of you travelling with premium hand luggage today, your bags will be available for collection shortly after our arrival from the bottom of the aircraft stairs or ramp.
There's the airport terminal, which actually looks relatively sizable. You too, thank you very much. It's very humid here in Rockhampton. I reckon the humidity here has to be around 90%. Nice and cool in here now. Well, I'm going to conclude today's trip report here. Well, it started off with the Qantas terminal. Look, the lounge was fine, it wasn't anything special. The food selection was pretty small, but everything else about the lounge was quite nice. The flight itself was really good actually. The service, it was all on time, and the cabin crew were really friendly, and also the food and drink service was really good for a flight that only lasts 1 hour and is on a propeller. Anyways, I highly suggest Qantas, especially since Virgin don't want too much less. But yeah, anyways, thank you all for watching this video. A like and subscription if you enjoyed would be a lot appreciated. But if not, that's obviously okay. But yeah, have a great day, and I hope to see you in my next video.